Hello everyone. In today's video, I will discuss about Bourdieu's idea of the social space and symbolic space. In the previous video, I have discussed about the Bourdieu's concept of social capital, cultural capital, and economic capital. And in this video, I will try to extend this discussion because Bourdieu's theory is very vast. He has worked a lot on different aspects of the society, culture, polity, and all. So, today's discussion will be very specific. That is the symbolic space or the social space. So, this symbolic space and social space he used or he analyzed for understanding or for a better understanding or for a different understanding. We will say I can say a different understanding of the classification of the society or the classes or class structure of the society. As I discussed in the previous video, that in society there are basically three forms of capital: economic capital, social capital, and cultural capital. So according to Bourdieu, this cultural capital and economic capital construct the social space. Now, first I shall tell you what is a space or what do space mean here. The notion of space is based on the idea of differences. Now, differences. So, differences is something which implies distinction, but again the coexistence. Distinctions but coexistence. Distinction here does not mean isolation of any part, isolation of any group, isolation of any individual. No, it means the coexistence but distinction. That means the agents, that is individuals or the groups or parties which are related to each other, that is which are relational, they have a mutual coexistence but distinct, that is difference. So this is what space is based upon this idea. And here we are discussing about the social space, that is how in society the spaces maintains, spaces constructed. And another thing is, or another idea is the symbolic space. That is how symbolically or how the sign or symbol of space is apparent in the society or is manifested in the society, that we can discuss here. Now point is that the space, that is social space, is constructed based on the possession of economic and cultural capital. That is, based on the position of this cultural and economic capital, the social space develops in the society. What are the cultural capital and economic capital that I already discussed, and now also I am giving a brief idea. Cultural capital are of different forms, of different kinds, like education. Their educational means the development, intellectualism, intellectual works, arts, the arts in the form of like movies, films, and many other forms of art. Then researches, then aestheticism like the tourism or a kind of the holiday activities, recreational activities, the consumption or use of luxurious life, all are the part of cultural capital. Economic capital also has many forms and of kinds. like the employer, like commercial employer, for example, owner of the industries, capitalists, and executives, managers, workers, skilled workers, unskilled workers, the farmers, peasants, the laborers, all comes under the economic capital. That means what? That's different peoples, different individuals shares or possesses different different amount of the capital, both cultural and social, and based on their possession they forms a particular group. That is, a particular groups emerges based on the possession of this cultural and economic capital. This group is not something which is ready-made, or which is created or produced automatically in the society. No, it emerges, it erupts in the society based on this possession. As I said, different nature of possession is there. So different type of peoples, different type of individuals means the are means apparent in the society based on their the way or amount of the possession. So this possession of the cultural and the economic capital creates different groups in the society, and that is what we call on board you call the social space. Why social space? Because the individuals and those who forms particular groups based on their positions maintains a particular distance, maintains particular distinction or distance in living, distinction or distance in the taste. Here another concept came, or we must use, that is Bourdieu's concept of habitus. That is, based on habitus, this distinction is maintained. This distinction is visible through the notion called habitus. Now here I am giving a brief description about the habitus. Habitus is the unitary lifestyle. In simple words, you can say it's a unitary lifestyle. It's a particular pattern of choice of a person, individual, or a group, or a particular pattern of the lifestyle one person lives, or one group lives, or an individual lives in the society. So this habitus maintains the distinction between or among various groups and individuals in the society. So suppose one particular person or many persons who are considered as rich. Why they are considered as rich? Because they possesses certain economic capital. Another group of persons who possesses cultural capital. So these groups forms, there is these peoples forms different groups and maintains distinction, because these two groups have different type of the habitus, different pattern of living, different pattern of lifestyle they enjoy, or they lives, they practices, and a reality. So this is how this distinction maintains. Now another category that is there in the society in the form of class is the working class or the poor class. They cannot come in proximity with the rich class or the culturally rich class or the group. Why? Because they neither have the cultural capital nor the economic capital. Means they are neither educated, neither they have much intellectualism, nor they have much economic means the affluency. So they below the lives in the bottom, and they can't come in proximity with the rich class. So this is how they maintains their habitus, and rich class maintains their habitus. And because of the different nature of habitus, this spaces develops in the society, the social spaces is develops and social space get maintained. This maintenance is very spontaneous. That is, it is maintained in a very orderly way. So here we got that based on the position of the cultural and the economic capital, a different nature of habitats develops in the society, and this different nature of habitats maintains the spaces among the groups in the society. Here, Bourdieu also argues that the habitats is not something a lifestyle. Habitats is not just something a pattern of life, a pattern of taste. Rather, the habitus is uses. Habitus is uses to maintain space in different positions in the society. Different positions are there in the society, and these positions maintains a different taste, a different way of living, different lifestyle. So ultimately, this habitus is the of the mediation of the space in the society. This through this habitus, the space develops or space maintains, social space maintains in the society. Now, this social space is again associated with the symbolic space. Symbolic space means that is social space that is manifested, that has a signification. There is through certain symbols in the practice, we get to know that a person is from which class, or person is from which group, or person possesses what kind of capital, cultural or economic capital, or if it is economic capital, then of from which category. Because there are different groups are there who possesses different amount of economic capital. Again, same thing in the case of the cultural capital. So this habitus 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 is uses to maintain this social space, and social space is manifested through the symbolic space. That is, one person is rich, that is, one person belongs to the capitalist class or the rich class, wealthy class. How do we understand? We do understand through his the appearances, apparent behavior, appearances like the lifestyles, like the gadgets, equipments, the dresses, styles which he or she uses, and the pattern of behavior, like the living pattern, the pattern of eating something, pattern of meeting someone, pattern of interaction. This all have a unique or a unitary pattern, that is a habitus, a particular habitus of this particular class called the rich or wealthy. Another group who are for example, the intellectuals. Intellectuals do not have much economic capital, but they possesses much cultural capital. So their way of living, their style of the behavior, pattern of behavior would be again of different type. And the symbolic, the symbolic space or symbolic space is also visible in this particular class. That is, through a particular symbol or sign, we can understand, or any observer can understand them as a member of a particular class, that is the member of the intellectual class, member of the educated class, or educated group or intellectual group, through their behavior, through their act, through their lifestyle. So this is how both symbolic space and the social space are related, and habitus is the mediation. That is, through habitus this distinction maintains. There is different classes in the society, different groups in the society maintains different nature, different kind of habitus. So this habitus we have to understand very clearly. Habitus is not something habit. Here there may be confusion that something may be related to habit. No, it's more than just habit. Habitus is a unified lifestyle. That is the part of our life, that what we do every day. So a particular class, suppose the capitalist or rich class, another one is like middle class, and third one is working class. So these three classes may have three different nature, different kind of habitus. Another group or class we can say is the intellectual or educated class. They have again a different habitus. That is a particular pattern of living, a particular way of talking, a particular way of interaction, a particular way of activity. So all this makes the habitus. For example, employer. For example, the employer who belongs to the rich class, employer will particularly live in a very affluent way, live in a very luxurious way. The employer uh, always thinks about the maximization of the business, maximization of the profit, and use of the luxurious items, and that is visible. Maintenance of the sophistication, that is also visible. That is the way they lives, the way they uses the different equipments, different the items, commodities that is available in the market, and the where they live, the there is spatial distribution, that is the places where they live is also a very important element or factor of the social space and symbolic space. That is where they lives. Rich class lives in a very sophisticated place, or it may be vice versa. That is the places where the rich people lives or the affluent lives becomes a sophisticated area. So it becomes a synonymous, that is this place is known for the peoples who are living there. There is a place of the rich people, a place of the affluent people, another places which is mainly a place where the working class lives. So this place becomes known or popular because of the identity of the working class. There is this place is a place for the living, the working class. So this is how geographical place also become distributed or distinguished. That is space also, the social space this is a symbolic space. So the social space creates the symbolic space in term of the geographical distinction, distribution. There is in a particular city or in a particular place, one area is considered as a area of very sophistication where the sophisticated people lives. This is his or her the habitus, like the big luxurious apartments, the penthouses, which is mainly uses by the affluent wealthy peoples, which cannot be afforded by the working class or lower middle classes. They lives in mainly the small buildings, small houses. So through these particular the symbols, we can identify a particular area, that if there is a apartments, large number of apartments in a particular place, that means we can understand this place is mainly resided by large number of affluents peoples who have high amount of the economic capital. Another place, for example, a place in and around the university or a college or institution, we can automatically assume that this place is mainly resided by the educated intellectual peoples, and they have a high amount of the cultural capital. Another, the setup, for example, the film city, the in around film city, there are a large number of peoples living, so they may have also both economic and cultural capital because of their economic affluency as well as their expertise in various form of culture. So this is how this symbolic space also emerges in the society. There is various areas develops based on the position of various groups and classes in the society. This is because of the habitus of different groups or classes in the society. There is different groups and classes have different nature and kind of habitus, and that ultimately maintains a particular way of the social space or particular way of the symbolic space. So this construction of symbolic space and the social space is constructed, and this construction of social and symbolic spaces is mainly carried out with the help of the cultural capital and economic capital. So this much is the present discussion, and I will continue the discussion in the next video.